film. I consider myself the Superman of Black film. I'm. You can compare me to Oscar Micheaux. You can compare me to Langston Hughes, James Baldwin, Sonia Sanchez, all the greats that did art to the best degree, to the highest capacity and degree possible, and at the same time, just advancing our people. That's who I am.
All right, thank you. So I'm gonna say again because now we're live. Had a little technical problem here. All right, once again here with Victor and Craig and Soul Toucher and Samuel just introduced himself. So thank y'all for joining us. Feel free to comment and like and subscribe. We miss Ernest. He's not here today, but he's taking care of a family right now. So he's here in spirit. So maybe if he has time, he'll join in, or if he's still listening. All right. Our first topic today is I've been seeing a lot of him. Well, he's a well-known man over the internet. Just want to say peace and Pan Africanism, peace and Pan Africanism, peace and Pan Africanism. Dr. Umar Johnson. He has. Well, I'm going to tell you a little story about how my feelings about him has changed over the years and kind of delve into our topic here. So, I don't know exactly when I first came in contact with him, but it was one of his lectures. And what he was saying did interest me. And at that time, he was talking about the Frederick Douglass Marx Garvey Academy as a boarding school that he was trying to purchase former college campus. And, I was very intrigued what he said. I was intrigued with the idea of the school. Kind of didn't really follow him religiously, but I kind of kept track of him and just thought, this is a real smart guy. This is, and what he wants to do is so great for us. And then I came along the Lord Jamar interview, and that kind of changed my mind about him to say, you know what, he's arrogant and he's trying to do this all by himself. Now I know enough about he's starting a school to know that you need a team to do it. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of enough for me to not really support him as far as the school is concerned, because you can't do something that big on your own. Mm-hmm. Kind of kept, time went by, and I started seeing some other things when he purchased the current buildings he has purchased now in Wilmington, Delaware, and then start getting to these sagas about the HVAC system. I think it felt like a whole year about HVAC. There was a problem there. Then was a problem finding a contractor. And then there was a problem. It all seemed like one problem after another. Mm-hmm. And it's just, and so now there's something kind of fishy going on here, to where I started thinking back to something. I was thinking back to the Lord Jamar interview, where he said, I have a team of experts, but he never mentions anyone on his team. Even now, he may mention that he has a team, but he never mentions exactly who's on his team. Mm-hmm. He says that the renovations are done, but we've never seen who did the contracting, who did the work. He never shows any kind of receipts, which leads me to believe that no renovations has been done, especially when he brought up the issue with when you said that his school was the unfinished part of the school was vandalized, and he had these expensive books that were there. And so now I'm starting to ask more questions like, okay, if you have all these rare, expensive books, what are they doing on the side of the school that's unrenovated and unclimate controlled? Shouldn't they be on the climate controlled, perfectly secure side of the building, or his home? So now I'm looking back some more. I'm seeing all of his lives are either like in a car or a hotel room in front of the school. The few lives he does in the school, they all look the same. It looks like no work has been done. So now this whole thing with the bank accounts come up. And even that sounds fishy now. It's like, okay, if your bank accounts are frozen, why are they frozen for so many? It's been almost a month now. He says his bank account's been frozen, but if someone tried to get into your bank account, it'll freeze for a minute, but you can unfreeze that thing within a matter of hours, if not minutes. So, and then the whole thing about the schools being auctioned off, they're not going to now. Apparently, he's paid or went to a payment plan at the city of Delaware, and his whole spiel about that. So now I'm seeing him as basically a scammer because he has this big audacious dream, but there always seems to be just a roadblock here and a roadblock there, and just one problem after another, and he keeps getting on, and this is what kind of issue is that he keeps getting on the Breakfast Club. And even now, Lord Jamar is still supporting him. He made a comment about that, in response to one of his videos, and he plans to have him on yet again. So we have someone who, to me, is a talker, but not a doer. This man has had no history of building anything. He's not even a doghouse, but he gets on things like the Breakfast Club. He gets exposed to a new group of people, and then he gets a new influx of money and cash, and he keeps talking. And it seems like, and I've seen this with other actors, other people also, where we as a community tend to hurry up and support people who talk about building something, never really build it, but keep getting our support. And I'm afraid that this scam is just going to keep running until he's either dead or in jail, neither of which I'm wishing on him. I just want him to change for the better. And really, because I really believe that he could do some good for our community. I think he's a really great speaker, and he really could do some good. But I'm just going to stop what I'm saying right now. I'll take the last word and I'll show you something else. But your thoughts?
I'll say this. Samuel, has he reached out to you? I say that for a reason. Because Marcus Garvey's twin, someone who played Marcus Garvey, who researched Marcus Garvey, who walked the talk, knows intimately. Has he reached out to you?
I like that. That was a good one. No, to be quite frank, no, not at all. I know for a fact that word has gotten to him. I know for a fact that he has heard of the film, the project. In fact, we have, I guess, mutual affiliations, and we have mutual associates, I would say. And so from all different angles, I know that he's been reached out to about the project, but I haven't gotten any nothing from it. Which my honest opinion, I feel like you feel. I feel like how I'm sure a lot of other people feel. I think he should be in full support, or at least speak on it, or at least watch it, or at least bring it out. Bring attention across it, and not having done so, or at least bringing it to my knowledge. I feel a sense of disgenuineness, if that's the word. I feel a sense of not standing on it. I think deeper than just the film. I look at, like, shout out to Lord Jamar, regardless of what we may think. We have definitely different opinions on Marcus Garvey or Marcus Garvey's movement. But one thing he did do was share his platform for me to present my messages and what I represent and who I am to the world. And I'm grateful for that. And so to know that there's an individual like Dr. Umar who stands on Garveyism, who stands on Pan-Africanism, who understands the significance of media, who understands the significance of support, Black support, and to be one of those individuals that come across this film and hear of Samuel Lee Fudge and what he's done, and not be in support of that and turn the blind eye to it. I'm not for that, not at all. I don't present myself like that. I don't operate in that type of fashion. And so, yeah, it's unfortunate. But to answer your question, no, he hasn't.
And again, use the word unfortunate. I call it someone who's actually trying to single himself out.
Yeah.
He's patting himself on the chest.
Yeah.
As if to say, this is what I've done. This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Again, the word support. Yeah. Support is the way to go. Reach out to those who actually can give you the help that you actually need. Instead of talking over people, you feel like if you use big words, people won't understand. And they'll just say, you know, big-eyed and bushy-tailed. They'll just accept everything that you say as religion. And it's not. I just feel like he, I don't want to say a fraud, but it's close. You know,
and I'll say this too. I've never seen him work with other African American men,
right?
Or I've never seen him work with African American boys that he says he's trying to help.
Right.
So unfortunately, I think his response to you, Samuel, is par for the course.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I mean, regardless, you gotta look at it. I look at it like this too. You know, here's the thing: if I'm an advocate of our people, right, and I'm against anything that's detrimental or harmful to our progression, and that's what I'm about. So if it's any form of manipulation or any form of being misleading our people, which I don't know what he's doing. You know, I'm not that tuned in what he's doing. I got my own movement going on. But if that is the case, I'm completely against that. I'm only for the betterment of our people. But one thing I can say too, though, is a lot of our leaders, and not just him. I'm gonna say it. A lot of our black leaders have to support our own. Like, we do a lot of this. We do a lot of talking. We talk about where the state of black people is in America. You know, we talk about what's wrong with black people all the time, and we make pennies and dollars off of that, right? But rarely do we get dirty and we invest physically into our people. Rarely do we give opportunities to our people. And I'm talking about from social media influencers to, I'm talking about billionaires who are out here who got money, billionaires who they pride themselves or they present themselves as one who it cares about black people, but they live right here in Atlanta. And how many studios for black African American kids coming out of the inner cities have they built? How many projects have they funded from black artists who are living in the West End? How much money have they put behind so man, y'all got me I'm about to get deep now. I'm about to get deep now. Like, we talk about, like, here's the thing, right? We talk about, I'm in Atlanta, right? I'm in Atlanta. This is the hub of black hip hop, black art. I mean, black rap music and black art as well, right? And we know it's for sure. We know what is harmful to black music, black rap music. We know that it's white execs that are Jewish execs that run these record labels, and they provoke these artists to talk about killing, guns, and all this shit, right? And these artists don't have no other ways out. They have 3 strikes. They got 2 strikes. They don't have educations. They don't have degrees. And their only way out, they can't play football. They smoke and drink too much. They can't even get fit to play football to make it out no more. All they have is rap music, right? And a Jewish or white exec comes to them and say, hey, look, I could change your life, your family's life. All you have to do is talk about murder, murder, kill, kill. What do you think that person is going to do, right? And in this very same city, we have an individual who's a billionaire and takes pride in representing black people. He puts us on screens. He portrays us in the light and image of his liking and his preference, right? And how many opportunities he has the money to create a label. You know, he has the money to do it correctly. I can listen. Brother, I know you got this deal, but I can give you this deal for you to talk about positivity, because I see that you have potential in your community. I see that you have influence. Talk about this, and I'll pay you to do that. But instead, we turn our eye. He drives by whenever he's at his studios. He drives by West End every single time he's there. And how much money does he put into that community? The community that's right there and that loves him and thrives him, who made his legacy a phenomenon. And so that's just one individual, but I'm just saying in general, like, we have too many black leaders, or we have too many black influencers who don't look back and don't offer the lend a hand. They are too stuck up in their own whatever the fuck they got, and to where they can't see what's going on around them. Going back to your point of Dr. Umar, I have nothing against the dude, but the only thing I have against the only thing I have is, bro, if you came across this project of Marcus Mosiah Garvey and you didn't support it and you ain't like it, but you built a whole brand or name off of this, what you doing, bro? You got to question yourself, and you got to question yourself. And so my thing is this: I'm the only Samuel Lee Fudge, but I'm not the only person out here who's doing what Samuel Lee Fudge is doing, because I connect with these individuals every single day, and when we connect, it's magic. But it's too many of us who are not being given the support and the help. I shouldn't have to beg a black media platform to do an interview of my film talking about Marcus Garvey. I shouldn't have to chase you down to do an interview on that. I shouldn't have to pitch. I shouldn't have to do all that, bro. But we effing rally. When Donald Trump is doing something we don't like, we rally about it. We take it to the streets and we want to protest. But when we got good positivity, good positive messages packaged in a film form, we don't freaking support it. And that's from the top of the chain to the bottom of the chain. And so that's what I'm against. And like I said, look, I don't know nobody's movement. I operate off my own drum beat, but if you're hindering the work that I do, then we got a problem. You know what I mean? And we already told you what I'm about. So yeah, so y'all are getting me ramped up, man.
No, that's good.
As far as Sammy, I totally feel your sentiment and your passion in that, because it is too much. There are too many successful leaders in our culture that they don't reach back, or they don't offer guidance, and they have the means, they have the ability to do this, and it's just unfortunate. I mean, even if you can't grab every adolescent, young adult, child out there and they come along with you, at least put forth a concerted effort to know that they have an outlet, that they have that support, that they have somewhere to turn. They don't have to run the streets. They don't have to pick up a bottle. They don't have to roll up a joint, or, things of that nature. There are too many people out there who can offer these opportunities. And it's just, it's mind blowing that they don't do it.
They try, brother. I use an analogy, right? I use an analogy on all this, right? So you may get it, you may not, right? I threw this out there a while ago on TikTok. It didn't land how I wanted it to. People was like, "Oh, what are you talking about?" But I'm gonna try to make it more clear right now, right? Let's talk about the crab in the bucket. We are crabs in the bucket, right? And there's one person feeding us crabs being Black Americans, right? It's one person feeding us, right? They feeding us. They stop feeding us all of a sudden. They manipulate the food process, right? They're not feeding us at all. And we're starving. We become hungry. We become starving. We then begin to feed off of one another. I'm eating you because I'm hungry, brother, and I got to survive. And you eating off of me because you got to survive. That's called genocide, right? We eating off each other to survive, right? And then one day, this one person who stopped feeding us, he decides to throw a piece of bread in the damn bucket. We all scrambling for that, right? Now, what happens if that same person goes in the bucket and he's looking to grab one crab to make it out that bucket and to live, right? And he grabs that one person, and that one person is metaphoric for whoever we talking about, right?
Right.
Now that person is eating. The master is feeding that person whatever he's eating. He's eating good while our ass is still in this bucket trying to survive. And then the second that crab says, what about my homies back home? Like, I gotta help the people. The master say, nigga, if you dare fucking give food to them people, I'm taking your supply, and you're gonna be your ass right back in the bucket. And so what's happening is a lot of these individuals who say they for our people and they love us and this and that, they putting self first, and they're not caring about, I can't lose mine. I can't do that. And I'm telling you, brother, I see it because I rub elbows with people who are up there, and I'm like, oh, I just know, bro. Once I know this is good. And then you get there and you like, so boom, 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 boom. And they're like, yeah. So, bro, it's that mentality of not wanting to lose what they have and not standing on it. As the young people say, you got to stand 10 toes down on it. Hope safe. A lot of these leaders won't know that because they don't even spend time with the black people. We say our black youth say stand 10 toes down, so they're not standing 10 toes down on what they say they stand on or what they represent, but they rather eat off it. And they black people, black Americans more specifically. I'm black American first. I'm African first, but I'm a black American as well. And I say we're one of the most exploited cultures of all.
Of course,
everybody, even our own people, we exploit ourselves for $1. All I gotta do is stand on the soapbox and speak some preacher black man jazz, and I'm rich, right? And so, that's what it is, you know. And until we be like my brother over in Burkina Faso, you know, then we could have, then we could do what we need to do. But yeah,
I hearken to what Sam Cooke did. And a lot of people don't realize what he did. He went into inner cities and put studios there for innocent youth to bring their music to the table. We don't know all the ins and outs of what happened to him on that fateful night where he was killed, but he had already started producing his own music.
Yes,
he wanted to put the blueprint for what we see today. People, instead of going to these execs that, like you said, the white man.
Yeah,
you have your own.
White man and Jewish man.
Right. You have your own. Yeah. And so, I saw what he was doing, and I think he was before his time, because we're so reliant on the Jewish man, because we felt like their pockets were deeper than they were at the time. But what he was doing was he was providing a blueprint for people who actually wanted their own.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll say this, a lot of these deals that a lot of these young artists are signing are 360 deals.
Yeah.
So they're not even getting what's promised to them.
No.
Right.
Sometimes in a worst case scenario. But when we talk about our black leaders, is that more of a reflection of the community on how we choose or how we appoint or anoint someone to say, okay, this person's going to lead us as a community for whatever reason?
No, I think we as black people, we choose whoever's the most flashiest, look the best, talking the best jazz, and got the most clout and got the most following. We ignore the everyday hero, in the neighborhood. We ignore, honestly speaking, like we ignore the janitor who's got 3-4 kids at home, and he's showing up to work every day, and he got to clean SHIT and everything else. But the one thing that makes him happy and gives him motivation to go to work every day is to reach a young black soul and to encourage that young black soul to thrive. We ignore the filmmaker who's out putting his life on the line, giving us content that we need, that fuels and feeds our soul, and doing it faithfully without the industry behind them, and doing it full throttle, no holding back. But we overlook that person, but yet we praise hip hop music that talks about killing each other, or we praise female artists who are talking about F their baby daddy, they pee hole is pink and they booty hole
right. Can't get with it.
We overlook stuff like that, but one would call her a leader. One would call these are the type of artists as leaders. And so we got it all misconstrued. See, a leader to us is a person who has representationally what we yearn or desire, money, wealth, and all that. So we look at that as a leader, but we don't look at the heart. We don't look at what a person is actually doing.
Feet on the ground.
Yeah. So that's what we're missing in today's time. You see, though our opinions may be different than these certain individuals like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, the difference between them and the leaders that we have today, these people were actually on the forefront, boots on the ground, doing the work. They were out marching. They were in Selma, Alabama. They were taking licks to the head by clubs and being threatened for their lives, but still out there every single day. Ask one of your favorite leaders today, all of them, any one of them. Ask any one of them. Ask them would they be willing to take a bullet for your people and watch what they tell you. They wouldn't even answer your ass. So that's what we miss today. We don't have no full glory, Braveheart type leader who's willing to put themselves out. And I think that comes with passion. I feel like we probably don't have a person that's passionate enough to put themselves out for our people. But I tell you one thing, I am. I may not do it in the way I ain't marching on self. If I got to, I'll be out there marching, right? But what I will do, I will create a film, and I will give you I will tell you about the Klan, the hidden secret. I will create a scene that you see Marcus Garvey confronting the Klan to make sure that you're free, right? I will show you a black man who stood on uplifting, and I would do that in the form of art, right? And so all I'm saying is like it's too many of people, man, who say they're leaders, and there's so many people that we look up to as leaders, and all they do is talk good talking jazz and collect checks, but they don't really put themselves out for our people, man. It's crazy. It's crazy, and it's hey, what can we do?
Yeah, Dr. Umar would do himself a great justice if he reach out to people for support.
Yeah, but people have offered him support. I mean,
again, I think he's an individual, and he wants to be an indivial. Going to the next topic.
Yeah. So
before you jump off of that, to add to what you were saying, Samuel, I think the leaders of yesterday had more to gain than the leaders of today. Like we were in the struggle and we had nothing. So putting their life on the line for the good of the group, or the good of the culture was just natural. Today, I think a lot of them say, well, I have X, Y, and Z. What else do I need to do? I have my money, I have my career, I have my fame, I have my fans, and I'm good. I can throw a little speech here or there, or, speak at a college graduation, or, do something small, and I've stood up for my people. But we need those leaders that we had yesterday, because they put their life on the line for where we are now. And it's like no one picked up that torch and said, all right, we got what we got, but we know this system is trying to chip away at what we have. So we need to have leaders that say, you know what, we need to pick that torch back up and lean it forward.
That's the only reason that the KKK was able to march through DC a couple of days ago, because we don't have those leaders of yesteryear.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And what and I'm sorry, brother.
No, you go ahead. I'll finish up.
What we also too, though, brother, and with the same breath, right? We also have to get better at supporting those real ones. The ones that, okay, oh shoot, all right, like we got to do better at it. Time after time, or I won't even say time after time. We just can't allow those certain individuals to take the licks and lashes for us, but then we don't bandage them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or we add to insult. Or we So, but that just comes from education and consciousness and awareness. Listen, we know shit. Anybody who any hero that we did have, or any leader we did have, of course they came with the rumors, or this person did this person he slept with many of women in his hotel room, right? and we were quick to throw his ass down for that, but we still got to do our jobs as support. And I think with Black people, our biggest thing is we got to come together as far as unity, but we got to come together and support. And I think those are the two things that we lack the most: unity and support. I think we support every freaking thing else but our own. We go by the Gucci, we go by the Louis, and we talk about it's so funny, right? We buy all these things, we spend thousands of dollars on these things, but then we quick to boycott any white company owner who says the word nigger. But you're still buying the stuff, right? You know what I mean? Right. You still supporting this stuff. Like we quick. I'm gonna just be honest. I'm gonna be 1,000 with this, right? We quick to run to the streets when there's a police brutality killing, right? But we listen to rap music every fucking day, and we don't say that. We don't hold none of these rappers accountable for the shit that they putting out to our kids, right? But we fucking about Black Lives Matter when we only unite when there's tragedy. We don't unite when we need to. We only unite and support one another when there's tragedy, which is crazy, right? You know how it is, especially when you come up in the hood. You got people who won't never talk to each other, but somebody get killed out in that street, everybody coming together, and they yeah. I think we have to do better at supporting ourselves, and we have to be better at unifying. I think that's the two biggest things that we lack in comparison to other cultures and ethnicities. One thing about other cultures, if they have somebody who's representing them in a negative light, they ain't gonna talk shit about them in public. You know what I mean? They gonna say,
we ran to OJ Simpson's defense.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I'm just being real. I mean,
yeah. So unity and support. That's the biggest thing. And you know what I'm gonna take it back to as well before I end it. Like, you got a film like Mosiah out there in the universe, but yet you rather watch. I ain't gonna say the real name, but you. I mean, you'll run to Netflix to watch Bebe go to jail. You know what I mean? But you can't watch Marcus Garvey for 45 minutes. You know, so hey,
we helping the man kind of whitewash, black what we represent.
Bro, white supremacy.
Our struggle.
White supremacy back in the day in the 60s and all that, like you said, white supremacy was exactly that, white supremacy. Today, white supremacy, they're using us to push their agenda of white supremacy. All I got to do is brainwash these Negroes into, I don't even have to get my hands dirty no more. I don't have to, I don't have to get the Klan to go to these neighborhoods and kill these Negroes. Why? All I got to do is put some poison in their music and they're going to kill each other. You know, I don't have to, we don't systematic racism shit. All I got to do is put $500 in front of a black female and tell her she'll get this for 18 years. All she got to do is leave her child's father and not try to make it work. And guess what she's gonna choose? That 500 every single time.
Right.
So we are
handouts
every time. So white supremacy, man, shit, it's us. So now, when is it time for us to look ourselves in the mirror and hold ourselves accountable for pushing their agenda? You know.
Yeah, we need to support what's going to be positive and help support our community. We all support something.
Yeah.
It is a question of whether or not it's positive or negative for us. And I think our people.
We know. We just don't choose it. We know.
Right.
We listen. We know that picking up that pack of cigarettes and smoking it is bad. You know you don't need that. Put that down. Why are you doing it? You're gonna find a reason to do it, right?
Pouring money into the liquor store on the corner.
Yeah,
you need to do that.
It's like we gravitate towards what looks good or what sounds good,
or feels good at the moment,
and we don't even look at what like we'll go to a person who may look like a leader or who may sound intelligent, may sound educated, but then don't ask questions. No. And don't look at their character and look at, okay, what are you doing? I know you're saying some stuff, but what are you actually doing?
Yeah.
And is what you're doing positive and helpful for our community, and throw our support behind that. Yeah, so I now started talking about Umar Johnson, but and I just wanted to end this segment with I know we heard of King Randall's school. But King Randall has a school in I believe it's in Georgia, and I'm going to play a video a little bit about just showing about what he's doing. And this is something that I feel that's worth supporting. If you feel like I feel that Umar Johnson shouldn't be getting money, instead of spending money on Umar Johnson as far as his school, send money to the King Randall school. I mean.
Family, we have finished with the summertime with the Ace of Boys program. The summer program is over, and now we're going back into the after-school program. So I want to talk about the things that we were able to do with the money we have been raising all this year. We've got so much taken care of. We got new floors. We got new ceiling tile. We got 2 new vans. We got a full staff of employees right now to be able to take care of the students. So what we've been able to offer lately is every day after school, 5 days a week, we're offering pickups for the kids to pick them up from school. We're offering fresh meals for the kids every single day. We've gotten new electrical panels. We've gotten all new light fixtures in our building. We've got so much that we've taken care of in the facility. It's been a beautiful thing. My big thing is always showing y'all what's happening. So we've got so much done. We got smart boards. We got new books. We got just anything. We got new tires on the vans. We bought the vans and they need some things fixed on them. We were able to fix those vans. We got new printers. We got all new laptops. Everything for our students to be able to thrive. Over the summertime, they read so many books. They read thousands of pages. They developed new vocabulary words, etc. Our family, we have finished with the summertime with the Ace of.
But he talks about more where they're putting together, teach them how to grow food and raise chickens, and I could show the website real quick. You've seen this, but yeah, I mean he's doing what Umar Johnson's been talking about. And the real sad thing is that Umar actually stole money from him. He paid him to come speak at one of his events. Umar Johnson just didn't show up and never paid him the money back. But you can see here just some pictures like Umar's talked about this about having a gun club, or he's teaching plasma cutting, home improvement, plumbing, electrical, fencing. You see some more stuff here. Auto repairs. Some boys don't even know how to change a tire, which is really sad.
Boy, I know some grown men that don't know how to change a tire.
Yeah, but King Randall's doing all the young. He has some videos there. But the website is xforboys.com, where you can donate to a school if you feel like you have something you can teach them. There's an application there where you can go to him and you can apply, and they'll see it whatever you want to teach. So King Randall is doing what Umar Johnson is talking about doing. So and instead of putting our money behind someone who's talking, put money behind King Randall. I put his website in the chat here. Yeah, but Ernest, he is watching us online, and he's said, just make a couple of comments here. It says we gotta support the real leaders, not the ambulance chasers.
You got talkers and doers.
Yeah. So but the numerous other examples. I just wanted to show that a little bit before we move on to our next topic. All right.
Yeah, that's my perfect example, though. That's my perfect example of, we overlooking the ones who are actually doing the work, in the communities, and we rather label the others who look better and shine brighter, and talk the loudest. We rather look to those as our leaders, opposed to the ones who are actually doing the work. And that's what I'm trying to bring awareness to, and that's what I'm trying to call out, and doing my part in trying to hold us accountable. We talk about wanting change, we talk about what's going wrong and why we can't advance, but it's these simple things, to where we're not pulling our part, and we're not doing the best at acknowledging our leaders, and also following. We're following all the wrong things other than what we're supposed to. So, yeah, shout out to that brother. I think I have heard of him, of course. And shout out to the people who's putting his name out there and bringing awareness to his work, because he's doing some phenomenal stuff with those young men. But that's, like I said, that's the stuff that I'm calling out these black leaders who have the money to do way more, and they can't even do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, bro, you I ain't gonna say the name, but bro, you supposed to be in the West End. You got enough money to change these young boys' lives in these communities who's causing all the ruckus. You have the resources. You can teach these young men how to create films themselves. You can influence these young men on how to tell their story in a positive way. You have the resources, you have the money. You may not even have the time, but you got so much resource, you don't have to invest the time. You could put a whole nother staff on that.
Right.
But that's not what you're doing. You rather put imagery of us that's not progressing us. You rather push narratives that's not true. You rather push stereotypes. You rather enforce an agenda that's already being used to keep us keeping us caged and trapped mentally.
Yeah. So and go and before we move on, so shout out your movie real quick, and we'll move on to the next topic.
Yeah, Mosiah the movie, the first narrative film based on the life of the most honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. It's on Amazon Prime. Check it out. Google it. I encourage people to also learn about Marcus Garvey prior and post watching this film. If you're for Black advancement, you're for Black progression, if you consider yourself a Black nationalist, if you consider yourself black everything, then this is definitely for you. So check it out, support, spread the word.
Yeah, indeed. If you haven't seen the movie, see the movie. If you've seen it, go back online and watch it again.
Tell a friend, tell a family member.
Tell a friend, family member, take them all. Have a night out. All right, so next topic here. Going back to the 2024 election, we all know who won. And I was looking at the numbers for and just looking at the voting numbers broken down by gender, and Kamala Harris. I don't know, And while Kamala Harris, if you look at this little chart here, you can see and go down to black men. You see that Kamala Harris, she won every group Joe Biden won, but not at the same margin, not the same level. Actually, they were all lower levels. So I know we were talking about black men, but 87% of black men voted for Biden versus 75% voting for Harris. So I guess the question or topic is why, and really she received less support from the same groups that Biden won, even though she won those groups. Mm-hmm. And of course, in the ultimate, she ended up losing the election. So why did Kamala Harris get less support than Joe Biden, even though she won the same groups? I guess the question is
from black men.
Black men,
and from black men, yeah, we're really from black men, but really from all sectors.
Here's my honest perspective on it. To answer your question, I'm gonna ask another question. What was the percentage of white men that voted for Kamala Harris?
Okay, white men was 39%.
So less than black men.
Yes.
Right. What was Asian men's vote or Hispanic men vote on Kamala Harris in comparison to black men?
Hispanic men was 48% and Asian men was 56%.
So black men still had a higher percentage of voting for her than every other black man. So, yeah. So to answer your question, I think it's a tactic or strategy to turn black men and black women against one another. I think if that is the case, why black men didn't vote for Kamala Harris, I think it's the same reason why white men didn't vote for Kamala Harris. I think it's the same reason why Hispanic men, we probably didn't find her fit to be president, and that's okay. You know what I mean? That don't mean we hate black women, and that don't mean we just harsh to black women. That just means we just didn't find her fit. And in today's time, we just can't vote a president because of the color of their skin, because we've done that before, right? And where did that put us? So, I mean, I'm not also going to say the other person was the most qualified, but I'm gonna just say that person probably just who we didn't vote for. I think the biggest thing is we have to be more mindful and attentive and conscious to anything that's disfranchising our people or anything that causes division towards our people. This is not the time for black men to be turning against black women or black women turned against black men. And this is not the time to be manipulating into being manipulated into doing that, especially in the social climate that we are in. You cannot manipulate. Like I said before, remember I said we are the most exploited people. We cannot be exploited and manipulated for vote or for political gain. And that's detrimental. Remember what I said, I'm against anything that's detrimental to the progression of our people. So anybody who's causing chaos or confusion or dysfunction or disfranchisement in the midst of our people, I'm totally against. And I, for one, didn't agree with the division that caused. I think that black men, we did our part, right? We voted more than any other men. I didn't even ask you what was white women's votes and all that, but she had our support. It's not fair to say that she didn't have our support. And what's the intention behind trying to cause that friction between us and black women? Because guess what? It was that night that we found out that she lost, it was a real hard night in my household because I couldn't get nothing that night. I couldn't even get a damn something. I'm just being honest.
Hey, Sanders, we talk about exploiting and so forth and so on. And I think that a lot of times we didn't educate ourselves. So some of us didn't educate ourselves because we said, "Oh, she disproportionately put black men in prison." And no, let's not go there. Mm-hmm. And that's because of media. You hear this in media, and you feed into it. Yeah. Oh, Trump gave us these checks. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And you hear. I heard it, mm-hmm. And I honestly wanted to just. I mean, really, are we that gullible?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I know I was looking into this topic. If I read the news stories and just solely went by that, I would think that black men just completely abandoned.
Right.
But then I saw the numbers, and the numbers I'm looking at from the Pew Research Center. I looked at the numbers, and I'm like. And I guess we're getting to another topic: black misrepresentation in the media, but and the black and male female divide. Yeah. But yeah, I'm like the numbers don't reflect what the news media was saying.
Right, they don't reflect it.
Yeah, I think
we have to do a better job of educating ourselves.
Yeah,
we have to know that the others. I mean, come on, we got to do better.
Yeah,
we got to do better. Yeah. The alternative was what we have now.
Right.
And we knew what that was.
A militarized police, what we have right now.
Yeah.
Does it show how many? I'm sorry, I didn't see it in depth, but does it show how many black men voted for Trump?
So it shows the percentages. So I just couldn't find like the raw numbers, but for black men, 21% of black men voted for Trump versus 75% of black men for Harris. I don't know if you can see
how many black. So
I couldn't find the actual raw numbers, but I just found the percentages. So
I can tell you this: those Hispanics that, Lord forgive me, those Hispanics that voted for him, they're having some serious buyer remorse right now.
Yeah. And that was close, 50-48.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we know how they feel. You know, they closer to that to us. So just to be honest, you know, I mean, hey, everybody got it better than the black Americans. You know what I mean? Everybody living. I mean, I'll be voting for him too if I can come over here, set up shop, and live a decent life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's not happening now. They set up shop. That shop closing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think overall, along with what you guys were saying, I think added to that, you know, with that division, I don't think not only were black men, but America not prepared for a black woman to be president. Mm-hmm. I think it's that pride thing. I don't want a woman in charge of me. I think that's a part of it, because you like even in our collective neighborhoods and stuff like that, a lot of men have a problem with women authority. And I think at some point, some men need to get off of that. For me, I was in a house with a single mother, so I don't have an issue with that. Right. Although it has its challenges, and it challenged me as a boy and as a man growing up. However, if you're qualified, do the job. But and also to add on to that, I don't think that she was authentic enough to gather that support across the board, especially from black men.
And that was going to be my other top. That was going to be my other claim.
But the alternative. I mean, we have to think about the alternative.
Yeah, we think about the alternative. Yeah. But however, she did not throw herself out there naked enough for people to say, "All right, we with you. We riding with you."
Yeah, Donald Trump is a master. I'm telling you this.
He's a manipulator.
He's a master at using propaganda and manipulation to reel in the ignorant, right? So you got to think about what he was doing. He ran the perfect campaign, right? He almost got shot, right? And after he got shot, this Negro said, every black person should be able to relate to me because I've been shot and I've been found guilty of a crime.
And then 50 Cent gave him music to play.
And he dropped some shoes right after it.
And Fat Joe bought them.
Right. And I know you're saying, you know, about not being led by a woman, but I tell you, even if you like me, I grew up with both my parents. A woman has been over me.
Right.
So it shouldn't be some sort of weird or other thing. You've been led by one. I mean, my father's had a house, but guess what? My dad both let me. So I've had a woman over me my whole life. All of us have.
I will never stop saying though. The alternative.
Right.
I don't care if I had to vote for a rat. What was the alternative? You be blue in the face. This man, and I'm gonna say it because I say it till I'm blue in the face. He's an evil, pissy white man who wants to have his way. And what would have been the most gut punching to him is if a black woman had beat him.
Man.
Oh my God. Yeah. That man would have left this country.
I think it's bigger than Donald Trump. I think the higher ups or the higher power wouldn't allow for her to win. I think Donald Trump is a representation of the majority, of those who control this great America. You know what I mean? I think behind the scenes they wouldn't have allowed it, and that's just my opinion. But hey, it's easier to blame black men on her, her not winning than just speaking the facts and saying what it is. That furthers an agenda of
division.
Division, right? The black family right now at this particular time, we need the black family to hold it together. We depend on the black man and black woman. We need to encourage more black marriages and black couples and married couples working it out and trying to fight through all this madness and stay together and keep the black blood strong. So if I could just say, hey, black men, and vote for Kamala Harris, and now I got to make my own dinner that night, or I'm being cursed out for not supporting, hey, that furthers their agenda. But for me, I look at it deeper than that. I mean, I think it's even to put it all on black men is a little whoa,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we trying to survive our damn selves.
Right.
We can't save the world, you know what I mean? We trying, but hey.
I just think that
it's real.
It was a lot of, well, what has she done? Because you hear it on, well, I'm not gonna say the show, but you hear it on there where they say, "Oh, what has she done for the black man?" It was almost about a handout. What is she gonna do for us? I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah,
let's bust our ass and do what we're supposed to do to make things happen. That's what we do.
Yeah, and I think it's a spill off a little bit. I guess I gotta get this color right. The red pill community. Where I think a lot of men don't feel like there's a candidate who's speaking on issues that pertain to men specifically.
Yeah.
I mean, I like either side, right? So it's like, okay, I can either choose this, or I can choose this. I know what you're saying, Craig. The alternative is.
I'll tell you, this is a soundbite. The Republican House leader in the Senate as well told them not to hold town halls because your constituents are mad. We don't want to listen to that. A couple of them did, and they got their butts reamed. By the constituents, because that's who you're there to support.
Yeah,
right.
That's just an extension of them. But what they're doing is their own agenda. They're doing what Trump wants them to do.
Yeah.
This guy today, he said it best. He told the representative, I think it was in Wisconsin, I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken. He said, "You guys need to get your head out of Trump's ass and do the work of the people." And this is a Republican farmer. He said, "You don't know what it's like to pay for your insurance. You don't know what it's like to go into a grocery store and for this, for that." You know what I'm saying? He said, he went off on this Republican congressman. And the congressman is sitting there with his head down. You can't even face the people because you're doing the bidding of a wannabe dictator.
Right.
And I think kind of this both parties. You have some who are following the party line. If they got an R in front, they're gonna follow them, blind them no matter what. Some are going along to get along, but I think some are starting to get tired of it. They're going on just hoping they can get some of that power too.
Well, there should be splinters in it.
Yeah,
because of humility, principle, ethics, morals.
Yeah,
you would think there would be splinters in there.
Yeah, I saw there's a sports documentary on ESPN. It's called Small Potatoes. It talked about it was the USFL, and Trump was one of the owners at that time, and at one of the teams. And at first, they were playing in the winter, playing the spring opposite the NFL. But then the decision was made to basically play the same, right? Basically competing with the NFL. And one of the former owners said, "No, a lot of us didn't want to do that, but Trump wanted to do it, and because he's the one that had the money, all of us other owners were losing money. We all just went along hoping we could, get some of that get some of that money and some of that power too. Well, money in this case, even though they just thought it was a bad idea, he was the one with the big money, the big that was even making anything. So like, okay, let's just go along and.
But the good old boy network, the NFL didn't fall for it. The NFL said, hell no. You're a fraudster. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't get in the good old boy network.
Right.
And,
Yeah, so I find that same type of thing is going along with some even in the Republican Party.
Oh yeah.
They're all hoping they get gain from it. And
hey, here's something I thought about, and I wanted to bring this up and ask me what you get. Tell me what you guys think. If you have a Democrat or a Republican, for that matter, who are voted in by their constituents, their voting bloc, and they get in there and they change parties. My thought, and this is just me, this is my opinion, that you have committed fraud. Because you have a voting bloc that you went in as a Democrat, if you will, and now you switch to a Republican. Those people voted for you as a Democrat. So it seems to me like that should be another vote. And whoever go up against this person, you understand what I'm saying? Because to me, you committed fraud.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, would you feel the same way if they went independent?
Yeah, because you
going one way and then another, and
you defrauded the people.
Yeah.
In other words, you did.
Yeah.
Because we voted for you because of ideals, and a lot of them vote just because the D's in front of your name or the R's in front of your name. But be that as it may, they voted for that, and now you defrauded them. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, and I kind of feel the way. I feel like maybe they've been some sort of conflict going where it be morally or idealistically, but they never came out publicly, and which is still a form of fraud because you never voiced the conflict that you have. You just gonna be a card carrying, ride or die, and then you got in, and then you didn't ride or died. You skipped.
Yeah, the governor, the guy that's here, the gentleman that's running for governor here, he was a Democrat. He changed to Republican because he said he has a better chance of winning as a Republican than a Democrat. To me,
about the one in Maryland?
No, here in South Carolina.
Oh, there's one in Maryland is doing the same thing.
Wow.
He's back.
So he ran. So they got in as a Democrat and then switched over to Republican.
No, so the governor election is up going next year. So there's one guy who was a Democrat, so he switched to be a Republican because he said he can't beat Westmore as a Democrat. So my thing is, if you can't beat him as a Democrat, what makes you think you're gonna beat him as a Republican? Maryland is like a Democratic state.
Right. But see, here it's the opposite. This guy, he was a Democrat. And this is a Republican stronghold. So he feel like he can't win as a Democrat, so he'll go ahead and go as a Republican.
What do you think is influencing that, though? You think it's what's first off, what's the skin color of this person, this individual? What's this person's?
Not ours.
It's Koki, not ours.
Okay.
He's right.
Well, I put it this way: if he wins, his victory speech better not start out with April Fools.
Oh my goodness!
It won't be public. It wouldn't. It would be public.
Oh yeah. Got a political bait and switch.
But yeah, man, that's an interesting one though, especially about. I mean, what do you think though, Craig? So, do you think though? Could you see it being a attention? Well, the black man didn't vote for Kamala thing. Do you see that as possibly being an agenda being pushed, or could you see it being causing a division? Do you remember the social climate at that time? Once that thing was once that was an actual thing, like
right. I felt like to me, it was the Breakfast Club. I'm gonna just put it out there. They get on and he talks about I wouldn't vote for Kamala. I wouldn't. And you know, you listen. This black men listen to it. Well, I talk to black men. And they said they're not gonna vote for her because boom, boom, boom. So you're putting that ideal out there. You're putting it out there. You know what I mean? And then at the last minute, you say, "Oh, but I'm voting for Kamala." But all those people that listened to you yesterday didn't listen to you today.
That's something different.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So we have to stop doing that. That's my thing. If we believe in something, believe in it. Don't believe in it for a day and then switch it tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Unless there's something that comes about that actually changes you. You know, like God say, "Hey, here's a premonition. Here's what it is."
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Come on, man. Let's not do this just to get bites or clicks.
Yeah,
that was my issue.
Yeah, and I see this in me a lot. They'll take something where it be positive or negative. They'll take something or something similar like it, and they'll play it over and over and over and over to where even if it's the minority, it will feel like the majority.
Yeah, because we have enough of division among ourselves for letting other people divide us as well.
Yeah,
like you said, we come together. When we come together in tragedy, we should come together as a whole, regardless, collectively.
Yeah,
you know? But we're so busy fighting amongst one another because we allow them to dictate that. Yeah. They're pulling the strings. They're putting more guns into neighborhoods, putting more liquor stores in the corners. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that goes back to my point of the crabs in the bucket. If I'm feeding you, you know what I mean? And I'm the only source of food that you got. Who you coming to for food? And when I cut off that food, what you gonna do? When I just feed you and I tell you, you better not give no other food to nobody else. Like I'm gonna take it back to just the black home, you know. In today's time, let's talk about it. I mean, if it's easier for you what's easier, right? If you got, I'm gonna break it down, right? 30s, let's say 30s, or even 20s, right? You got a black male, you got a black woman in the household, right? The black father, they have a child. I'll break it down even deeper, right? Let me talk about the state of Georgia. And I'm not sure this is perfect. I'm not sure where else this is a law at, but let's talk about the state of Georgia, right? If you're unmarried, if you are unmarried to a woman, if you have a child out of wedlock, you guys have a baby, that woman is granted all rights to that child in comparison to you. You have no rights to that child, right? Now, if there's conflict within the relationship, right, and we're in a home, we're trying to build this black family, you know, they say that we got to keep the black family strong to thrive. We got to keep our race going, right? And you're in this black household, right? And you're with this woman and you have no rights over this child unless you get the child legitimized. Now, to get the child legitimized, you got to pay X amount of dollars, right? To do that, right? And though it's your rights, even you applying for legitimation, a woman can still oppose that, right? And now the process is all jacked up because that woman still says, "No, I want you to have partial rights to this child," right? So now you got to fight. But before I even continue, but we talk about the black man. See, it was a father thing, but I took it to a black father thing. But we talk about the black man being absent in the household, right? But we hold the black man accountable, and we say the black man ain't there, but we don't look at these laws, right? But let me continue. So you have the divide now, right? And maybe the relationship isn't working, right? And that you go your separate way. Why would I try, as a woman, to fight for the relationship if the government is telling me, listen, all you got to do is put on paper that he don't even live here, he absent, he not boom, boom, boom. I already set it up for you. I'm gonna pay you. I'm gonna give you welfare every month. I'm gonna give you WIC every month. I'm gonna give you vouchers for daycare. I'm gonna give you X amount of dollars, right? And you'll be straight. Forget that Negro. Go ahead, girl, live your life. And guess what? You can find another man, right? The woman's gonna be more prone to doing. She ain't gonna try to stick it around and make it work. But here in the state of Georgia, that's what it is. If you have a child out of wedlock, you as a father have no rights. And I'll just be honest, I'm going through that myself. And every time I go up to the courthouse, I see many of black men fighting or just trying to be educated on what's going on. Now, is it our fault to an extent? Yeah, it is. You're right. Going back to your point, Craig, we should have educated ourselves and knew, what the laws were prior. But just the fact of us still being held accountable and saying we being absent out of our children's lives, but we're not holding the system accountable. We're not pushing for reform for these laws that have been around since freaking 1950s and 60s. Like, if you know today's social climate, if you look at the statistics, y'all create the statistics. If you see how many children are being born outside of wedlock, instead of you trying to correct it or adjust the laws to accommodate both parents, you say, no, this is a market. This is an opportunity for me to bank, because this child support that I now have to pay, guess who's getting a piece of the pie? And so,
they're giving that woman so much more authority to be able to say, I don't need you.
Yeah, right. Because
right, and we hear that he's an absent father, but we don't ask the question of how that father became absent.
Right.
We assume it's nefarious on his part.
That's like saying, did you watch the Amanda Seals debate 2020 versus
I just watched that yesterday.
Yeah, right. And so there was one gentleman on there. He was bringing up the fact of black on black crime, right? And he just kept
that one. You're right. Yeah, I gotta catch that tonight.
He kept acknowledging the fact that that was his claim, you know. And by the way, he's a black Republican, right? But this was his claim. He was saying, "What about us? Like, we're killing each other in the streets and da 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 da." And she says, "How can you say that? How can you say that and still ignore the source and problem?" He brought up, I think the conversation was centered. I'm sorry, the conversation was centered around rap music. Yeah. What about these rappers? They should be more like Ben Carson, you know. What about, but they're talking about Kill, King Von, and da da da. She said, "What creates King Vons? You know what I mean? Don't you know there's such thing as execs, and they're paying these young black men who have nothing to live for but their families, and they're telling them all you got to do is talk about this, and I can change your life. Though it's a 360 deal, it can change your life." But I said that to say, like, we hardly ever focus on the cause of things because we've been conditioned to overlook. How many times that we bring up slavery and we're told to, man, slavery was in the past. I don't overlook the
whitewashing it. This gentleman just said, not gentleman, my bad. I shouldn't be referred to him as a gentleman. This man just said that it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, right. Well, he says, why does it at the Smithsonian's that talk about African American history that have slavery in their exhibits, they are too negative and they don't emphasize the positivity and unity in slavery. And I'm like, where the fuck was the positivity?
Yeah, right.
The only people who were positive
and was not negative
owners, the people who were benefiting off of slavery. You saying you want these exhibits to highlight the people who were benefiting off of slavery? Or here's the other thing. He was bringing it up. Well, when other countries, other people from other countries, they come visit, they want our stuff to be more prideful and talk about our. So you were embarrassed of what you did, right?
Right. So, but the weird thing about it is that people from other countries probably know more about our history than we know.
And here's another soundbite. He gonna tell. We have to bring the migrants back because the farmers need them and the hotels need them. But the owner has to be responsible for them. What the hell you just said?
What?
That sound like slavery?
Okay, bro. Exactly.
But we're not paying attention.
No. I said but I love what you said, Vic. I said the same thing. I said at this point, what I've gathered, and this is just my opinion, right? This is my analysis. I feel like other cultures care more about Black history than Black people care about Black history. I think other cultures care about African American history than we do. You know what I mean? Because this man just blatantly said that he's trying to change our narrative and change history. And shit, people still driving around listening to Sexy Red and trying to go to the club. So that didn't cause any alarm, and he knew it wouldn't. He knew he could say that and get away with it because we in a state of sleepiness. We ain't aware. We don't care as long as we we got whatever else we focused and got going on.
No, we're not woke.
We're not woke. We spend more money in the clubs than we do at our African American museums, right? And first off, Smithsonian specifically is government funded, right? So he can threaten to take funding out of these museums and guess what? And they will have to fall because our Black people ain't supporting our own goddamn museum. We ain't even supporting a movie on Marcus Mosiah Garvey. You know, we support we on Netflix catching the first Bebe Goes to Jail or Bebe Goes to Mexico or whatever. You get what I'm saying? And so what I'm saying is it's easy to do shit like that when we ain't, like I said, we only come together for tragedy. We don't come together when he say he gonna take the shit. We come together once it's gone.
Right. Exactly.
We stand up for other. We stand up when he say he gonna kick Mexicans out of the country. We stand up. We want to fucking we got a voice in that. Nah, that's wrong. How can he do that?
But we might be next.
But we don't support like other people don't even support us when shit like that. They be like these Negroes on their own. You know what I mean? It's just we all out of wax, bro. We all out of wax.
I mean, even when we talk about black on black crime, you know, we talk about like it's some sort of unicorn, but there's white on white crime. There's we tend to do our own shooting and killing within our own racial groups, but we want to act like black on black crime is some sort of
right. I mean, if you're more in that community, shit, of course, it's black on black crime just like it's white on white crime. It's black on black crime just like it's
media. It's the media.
Crime. You get what I'm saying? If I'm around black people, what you think the crime gonna look like? How the fuck can we? Sorry for cursing, bro. Sorry. How can we highlight and emphasize black on black crime, but we don't emphasize the Klan and the amount of lynchings that took place in the United States of America, right? But we don't because we gotta look past that. Why are we still worried about that? We gotta look forward. But we can highlight black on black crime. As a black Republican, you can highlight black on black crime, but you can't talk about what happened in Hurricane Katrina with those New Orleans, all those black people in New Orleans who lost their fucking homes, who died, babies died. Right. Going back to my point of genocide, those babies died, those black people died, those black people had to stay in the state in the condition that they were in for days at a fucking time with no help. But we can say, overlook slavery, or we
can't talk about Tulsa. I mean,
no, we can't. No, Tulsa. What is that? What is Tulsa like? Come on, man. I mean, there's so much more. We got East St. Louis riots. Like, come on, let's racial riot. Let's talk about all that shit. And so,
the minute we get together, it's not protesting; it's an insurrection. When we get together,
yeah. Of course.
That's their talking point now. And LA was an insurrection.
Yeah. But I mean, because we black, we supposed to get over it. I mean, no disrespect to anybody, but I mean, shit, we still ain't over the Holocaust. I'm just saying, bro, we still ain't over it, and ain't nobody trying to take away their history in their museums, neither. So why are you trying to come at my people and take away, erase my history? You get what I'm saying?
Well, it's because they say, and I've heard guys say this, black gentlemen for one, they say, "Oh no, he's just opportunist. He's not racist."
Yeah. Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Where's the opportunity in that?
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, but to my point though, bro, until we stand up on our own and we fight for ours, until we do what they're doing in Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traoré, when we standing up and fighting for ours and doing what we supposed to do like that, then people gonna always step over us and run over us. Just like he said over there, ain't nobody touching their damn gold. Ain't nobody coming over here taking our resources. Ain't nobody for to colonize us. Ain't no matter of fact, the French military, get y'all ass out. We got our own over here. And until black people see, I made a post about this, a matter of fact, and I said this very same thing. And it was black people who were saying, well, what we gonna do? Where we gonna go? We live where they live. And that's the mindset that's gonna keep us trapped and keep us locked into where we are and stay in the condition that we are in. We got plenty of our own. Like I said earlier, we're the most exploited fucking culture. Think about how many other ethnicities and people make money off of our shit. How much shit do we own? How much shit do we really own? Because I could see a yellow person walking around. I could see a yellow person walking around Buckhead with their pants sagging, right, or goals in their mouth, right, and to our people, that's cool, man. That's cool. But you know what I mean? Like, so until we stand up for ours, like, just like I think the museum thing was a perfect the museum situation with slavery, that's a perfect example of them trying to snatch our shit and us not standing on business, not standing
of this USA right now. It's a microcosm of where we are.
Where are our leaders? Where are these people who talk about what black people need? Where are these people who listen? Where are these people who marched in the 60s? Where are these people? Where are these people today? Where are they at? I mean, I don't see.
What was it? John Lewis was. That was it.
That was it.
Lewis was last.
Yeah, I mean, but it's some others though, right?
And I didn't.
Yeah, right, right. Where they at? So that's the thing. Like, man, it's so much. But me personally, I can't say too much, brother, because y'all can get off of this stream y'all with me today, and y'all may not find me tomorrow. But you know what I mean? I do got your Marcus Garvey out right now. So they like this nigga got 2 strikes. he got one more chance.
He got one more time.
He already got his ass in court, so we need one more chance. But I'm gonna just say this: we need our own. We need our own. I think we need our own government. We need our own businesses. We need our own laws. We need our own codes of ethics. We need our own. We need to preserve our own resources. We need our own policing. We need our own everything. Whether it's not as big into a mass scale of the United States, but we need our own. We need someone regulated. We need a body of individuals, real Black leaders, real Black American leaders who's regulating things here. We need an advocate and we need an ambassador. There's many of resources that we can utilize and take advantage of that's over in Africa and these other countries where Black people are in power. Then we need an ambassador and a representative to represent us in these different countries and speak to our problems and speak to our needs. You know what I mean? And so that's I ain't gonna say much more. I'll keep putting it in my movies and in art, but we do need these things, and I think that's how we can thrive and progress as a race. You know?
Yeah, we got to get out of that crab in the buckets mentality.
Yeah.
So we got to hold the people. We got to hold the ones who are doing that. We got to hold their ass accountable. You know what I'm saying? We got to put some check into it, like old school. You know, back in the day, if your little brother doing something you don't like, you got to put his ass in his place. Or somebody doing something, you got the whole community. If there was a back in the days, if there was a individual in that community doing something they wasn't supposed to be doing,
you check him.
You check his ass. We coming as a community, checking his ass to get him right. Whether we get the young ones to beat him up and kicking him out, or we doing something. But right now, it ain't enough accountability being done. We allowing people to do what they want and ruling freely without holding these individuals accountable. You know, we got to take it back old school. You know, look at the Black Panther Party. Look how they did their things. Look at Marcus Garvey. You know, they set the blueprint for how we should be doing things, and we see how things were then. These things still exist, and we better use it and utilize it before they take it away, because they're already showing us what their intention is. They trying to erase every damn thing. They're trying to walk us and to make it their story. How the fuck America has its own story. How you take the Black slave story and still make it your story? You know what I mean? Like, how you make that like, we gonna take slavery from them because we created slavery.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. All right, last words, Soul Toucher.
Hey, great conversation, and you know, as a culture, as a people, we do need to stick together. We need to uplift our ground leaders, support each other, have each other's back, and just keep a conscious awareness. Let's not use the word woke, because they done transformed that into something that
Exactly.
we don't even recognize.
Political dog whistle now.
Just stay aware of what's going on around you, what affects you, what affects your family, what affects your children, our lineage, and keep pushing forward. We cannot give up. We cannot drag our feet. Let's just keep pushing.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Craig?
I just think, again, we touched on a lot today. I feel like things that we touched on, talk about our leaders. I think we need to weed out. We need to find the true leaders, not the ones that are going to get up there and then switch on you, you know, and go to the other side, the dark side. And I say that for the dark side, because they've left you behind. Like Samuel said so eloquently, the crab's in the bucket. You know, once you have one out and you pull another one out, you better not go after them. I'm saving you. That's it. You know, so we have to get out of that. We have to become unified, be as one. This bickering back and forth and, you know, going after one another, that's dead. That's tired. It's tiring. And I think that the only way we do that is, again, we get true leaders who can bring us together and know what we're about, and have us to understand where we're going. We shouldn't just exist. We have to be. The only way to be a part of something is to make something happen.
Yeah.
Samuel?
Yeah, I said a lot tonight. But going back to the crab in the bucket, thank you, Craig. And to add to that, it's more worse when you were a crab in the bucket and the other fucking crabs helped you get out the bucket for you to be the savior, to look back, to help us all. And Negro, you get out the bucket. We done put our energy, our time, our resources, our money, because we knew that you would come back and help, and you go to the dark side. You need to be held accountable, and you need to be ashamed of yourself. And that's for any individual who has, I don't care if you are a billionaire. I don't care if you have a decent job that's paying you decently. There's somebody of our community out needing assistance, help, and that can utilize whatever you have to offer and to thrive off that and be a better person off of what you have, whether it's education, finances, insight, whatever it is. It's our obligation, our responsibility to look to the next and to be an assistance to our own people and to help our people. And the more of us do that, the more we can grow and thrive and progress as a people.
All right, fellas, great talk there. Ernest, you missed one.
He right there. He right there listening.
I know he's listening, but he need to be in this.
Yeah.
But Sam, thank you, man, for joining us.
Most definitely.
Craig, Soul Toucher. Thanks. Thank you. Everyone who's watching, thank you. Like and subscribe, share, and support the positivity. Everybody.